The oldest rock art.
Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here with the Hutchings Museum, and in today's video we are going to be learning about Barrier
Hutchinson
Canyon
Museum.
style rock art, which is a very incredible style and has some unique history and some unique attributes that a lot of people don't think about but actually really matter. So in general, rock art, people have been doing rock art for thousands of years all over the world. Now, rock art is a catch-all term. If you're being more specific, there's petroglyphs. These are when somebody has
It's
carved
carved.
into the rock and chiseled through the patina down to the lighter colored stone underneath to have kind of a bit of a contrast there. And then there's pictographs, which are painted. In general, pictographs are more
Pictographs.
rare, especially in the American
Get
Southwest.
washed
We
away.
see far more petroglyphs than pictographs. Now, pictographs, when they are painted, you don't just go to the store and buy paint. You have to buy earth pigments that will last, and then you mix that typically with granulized boiled hide glue. You mix those together, and that is a glue that's going to last, and that is why some of these have lasted so well. But it takes a lot of work, and with most cultures throughout the United States, we definitely see more.
And just how valuable it is. So whatever they draw is gonna have real meaning to it, like importance. That's kind of trippy.
Petroglyphs pecked into the rock. Then we do pictographs. Barrier Canyon is the exception to that rule. So that's
They're
the
not actually
first
gonna
thing.
waste it on.
Barrier Canyon style is almost exclusively painted. I don't even know of any definitive depiction that is attributed to the Barrier Canyon style that
That's
is
so
pecked into the rock. It's
badass.
all painted. So that's very unusual.
It's like all
Second
protected
of
and
all,
hidden.
it's all painted basically red. You might have bits of white to kind of accentuate things, but it's typically red ochre. And then
Red
they're
ochre.
almost exclusively humanoid figures. Now, we don't know what these beings being depicted are. We don't know, are these depicting people? Is this something, oh, when somebody dies that they're put on? Is it something really
Probably the beings they worshipped as gods.
casual? Is something really
Advanced beings, right? Knowledgeable, smart.
realistic? Are these deity figures? Are they spirits? We don't know, but we know that there
Or just other species they coexisted with
we would classify these as hominoid
of humanoids.
figures, meaning they're kind of like their shape. They seem like a human, like they're either a human or an anthropomorphic human. Now, some of them seem to have like horns or headdresses. Now, these could be a person wearing a headdress, or this could be some sort of a spirit or a deity figure that has those as part of their body. We don't know, but the shape is basically anthropomorph. So they're either human or at least humanoid. Now, that usually comes very late when people have rock art.
The shadow ones are regular people depicting normal people, and then of course we have the other humanoid
Normally,
being more detailed in
people
everything.
will have rock art, and they first thing they do is they
The main thing to look at.
depict the world around them, which is animals, because animals, you're hunting animals and you're trying to keep from being hunted by animals. So, like the oldest rock art that we really have is in Chalvis Cave, France. Arguably, it's the oldest. It's about 34 to 40,000 years old, and it depicts all these animals of the
That's
ice age.
so
It depicts,
badass.
woolly mammoths and cave lions and giant bears and all kinds of wild horses, woolly rhinoceros, all these amazing animals.
That's such
And
good
that's
detail.
almost all that's depicted. There's really no actual human depictions in there. There's a couple that kind of, it's not a full human, but it shows part of the female.
So it's pretty much what they saw, and that's why that's in America, right? The other ones he was showing were like I want to say like Australia, all those countries over there, right? Africa, Australia, I think so. That was trippy. It's pretty much what they saw, what was around them. They documented is what it looks like. And then of course we get the humanoid ones. That's like, oh, this is what we see. This is what we found. Like these are creatures we coexist with, type of thing. Is what I'm getting from.
Anatomy, and it's kind of believed to be sort of a fertility type figure. But for the most part, it's just like it's all animals, and that's really what we see all over the world. The earliest, oldest rock art is almost always depictions of animals. The Barrier Canyon style is a very strange exception. It is among the oldest rock art that we have.
It's still a depiction of creatures or whatever the hell that is that they saw. Because he's saying they mostly saw, they don't draw themselves, basically. There's no need, we know, to document themselves. They're documenting what they see
Have in
as a way of history for like other tribes, I guess, right? Or like to teach their children, like, oh, this is what to look out for. If you see this in the wild, be careful. If you see that, that means it's good food. This is that, you know?
in the North America. Now there are older depictions here and there of woolly mammoths.
They didn't have language really, probably, but they could draw what they saw
I've visited some of these.
or what they did, such as the Egyptians. A lot of the hieroglyphs are just depictions of what they were doing, documentation pretty much of what they'd done. And of course, there are some we don't. Some did have an ancient language, the one that we don't understand really. I want to say, I don't know.
But they're not attributed to a specific style. It's like somebody during the Ice Age depicted a woolly mammoth, and that's just kind of that. Um, and so we don't know much more than that. Barrier Canyon probably dates back about 7,000
Barrier.
years. There's a lot of debate on how old this style is, but a few
Where's that
thousand,
at?
all the way to 7, 8,000, and some people even say 10,000 years ago.
Jeez.
We know that there's artifacts that have been found at some of these sites that are at least dating back 5,000, in some cases 7,000
Jeez.
years. Artifacts at the site that are connected. But the strange thing is, almost exclusively, all Barrier Canyon depicts is almost exclusively humanoid figures. They're
Look it up. Let's look it up. Shrek. What the fuck? Utah. Oh, this is America.
there is occasionally kind of
What
some
the hell?
zigzags and very rarely a few animals. But that's almost all there is. And these figures are haunting. They're incredible to see. They're when you see them, if you ever get to experience
They're still animals, or at least coexisting creatures.
them, they hit you different. They feel like they're really speaking to you, really connecting to you in a way that almost seems metaphysical. And I know it's just rock art, just people depicting things in the past, but it hits differently. I've been seeing rock art all around the country my whole life, and every time it's a Barrier Canyon style, it almost speaks to you. I'm being very serious about this. Last time I visited there are some other people, and I pointed that fact
Sounds
out to them. It was
crazy.
their first time seeing them. They had seen other styles, and they're like, "Yeah, it is. It's like there's some sort of a strange connection. They seem ghostly. They seem different. They seem very strange, very unique, very special. These are the style that, if you look around, that some people have attributed to having something to do with aliens. I'm not suggesting that, but I'm just
Native creatures that once roamed the earth.
saying because it's so different and because it hits you different and because it seems so ghostly.
Look up Credo Mutswa. He speaks about aliens being more native creatures that went to space and shit, or went underground.
These people do sometimes try to attribute these somehow as having something to do with alien figures. Not likely, but I guess you got to be open to the possibilities, right? So the fascinating things about these, again, are the fact that it was so old, and that normally you would assume, and in other areas this does happen, that people evolve, their artistic styles evolve, and you can see a progression. You can see how it changes. Not this. This is the style it's going, and then bam, it just disappears. And in this region, the next thing is suddenly you have the Fremont people and the ancestral Puebloan people, and they are depicting people all over the place. They're people hunting bighorns, and they're obsessed with bighorn sheep. There's always bighorn sheep everywhere, more than anything else, and people hunting bighorns, people walking around bighorns.
Probably their culture, a way to teach their culture to the
And there'll
younger.
also be some other animal depictions. You'll have
Yeah, what the hell
elk,
is that with the horns?
deer, and even antelope. You'll have all these different pictures that are just all over. So it's more of a regular worldview as one would expect. It's more of, hey, yeah, this is kind of our way of thinking. We're
What is
people
that?
living in a world. We think about us, we think about the animals around us, and that's what you see with the Fremont and the ancestral Puebloan people, which is give or
Okay.
take around
Oh, like
180
hair.
to about 1300 AD. Then after that, it goes locally around here to the Ute, the Goshute, Shoshone, Paiute, and Navajo. And their rock art is, again, even more of what we would expect somebody might do today. Their thinking is way more close to modern thinking. So it's like, here's people, and they're riding a horse, and they're hunting a buffalo. And
No, it's because those other animals went extinct. That's why you see such a jump. Depiction of what they used to live with, and then a jump from, oh, they're chilling now. They don't have to worry about those domestication, which allowed them to domesticate. Don't worry about other smart humanoids, right? For food, the food chain, and everything. This is my theory.
deer, and there is this other big old huge panel, and you have a few Fremont pecked in pieces down below, but not much. So ironically, what we see is people seem to, for the most part, leave the Barrier Canyon style alone. There's like, oh, this is different. We're not gonna. We'll
It's what they saw, bruh. Best way to document what you see and live around, and how to teach people like these are the creatures we live with. So you see, we used to live with
because it
humanoid
seems so
creature.
ghost.
Credo Mutua. I'm telling you, look up Credo. It gets into the Africa. This is more American, but like gets into the same kind of history. Gets into reptilians, aliens, and he speaks about them being more native, not necessarily outer space. I think I already did that. That's another thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. Arabic folklore. Where's hair? The ghoul. I think I'm gonna end it here.